Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're going to talk about the Janome CoverPro 3000. In this video, I'm going to show you how to thread this machine. So to start with, I've got all 3 needles here. Now you can sew with 2 needles on one side or 2 on the other, or just a single needle and do a chain stitch. But for this video, I've got all 3 needles in here, and I'm going to show you how to thread all 5 of these spools. Okay, so to start with, I like to just put my threads right here at the top, and I'm going to show you how to do the cover stitch without using that top cover, because this does a top cover looper, but to start with, I'm going to show you without that, and then I'll show you with. Okay, so to start with, now I like putting my threads through these little holes here, because when I put the thread tree down and I lift it back up, it doesn't jump out, but for speed purposes, I'm going to just put it through those little hooks at the top like that. Like this, and it does help to stand up sometimes, because then you can kind of really get a hold of things and do it quickly. There we go. All right, next thing, make sure that your presser foot is up, because that opens your tension discs. Put it under this little hook here and slide it right down in there. Under the hook, slide it down. Okay, I missed that one. That was the wrong place. This one goes back in here. This is for that top cover thing, so I'm going to leave that one off, because that has to do with that spool pin right there. Excuse me. Okay, under there like that, under here like this. Now, you can thread this in any order, so I'm going to start out by threading the needles. Now, I like to have the needles at the highest position, and that's where this comes in here. So you see that little mark right there on the side of the hand wheel. The hand wheel, you turn it this way towards you, counterclockwise. We'll line that up with the little mark that's on the side of the cabinet right there. And that way you know that your needles are up at the highest position. Okay. Under here, under those hooks, over the top like that. Then we're going to go behind this little hook right here, and then the left hand needle goes, it's the only one that goes on the left hand side here, so it goes right in those little prongs right there. The other ones are going to go on the right hand side. So I'm going to go over here like this, behind that. It's important to get each of your needle guides, or each of your thread guides, to make sure. Now I'm using different colors of thread, and I'm also keeping the lights on, the machine on, so that you have light and you can see the different ways of doing this. When you're doing your own project, it's very likely you'll have the same color of threads in more than one pathway there. So it goes like that, behind there, and then this goes here. Now, your book's going to talk about how to thread these, but I'm just showing you. It's got to go between each of these little prongs like that. Then, the last one, and this left-hand one slipped out of there. Last one, go right behind this needle bar guide, right like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and thread that one first and leave these out of that needle bar guide just to keep them out of the way. This threader is really neat. It has a left, medium, and right needle position, depending on which needle that you're threading. I'm going to lower the presser foot just to kind of get the presser foot out of the way. You don't necessarily have to. And then there's a handle on the side here. You push that down. That puts the needle threader in position. Now, in your book, it also talks about using the needle threader. And, okay, right here, this is how you want to have your thread going across. Make sure it's right in that groove, not below that piece there, okay? So that way it's through that little hook that you're going across here like this and right into there like that. Now I'm going to hold this in upward angle, and I'm going to do all 3 so you can see how I do that. So upward angle, then, and I hold it lightly here, lift it up, and see how it pulled a loop of thread right to the back there. And I'm going to take my tweezers. Tweezers are a great way to, for sergers and for cover stitch machines, use your tweezers, because it's got a little bit of a hook there, and it's going to help you grab your thread. Okay, the next one is going to be my red thread. got that kind of tangled up a little bit, so I'm going to get that out of the way there. Tweezers. All right, let's use our tweezers. And I'm going to move the blue thread out of the way just to get it out of the way for now. And yes, you can do each of these individually if you choose. That's certainly okay. I kind of like to have all my spools and all this part done all at once. It's just easier for me that way. Now we want to move this to the center position. Push this down, put it under that little white hook on the side, right in that little prong, and lift it up. And there we go. We've got some more thread on the back here. I'm going to come back through there, get a hold of that guy. That one's done. Next we push this to the right needle position. Push it down. Make sure that this is threaded where it goes. Looks like the red one jumped a thing. Once you get this threaded up, threading is really not that big a deal. There we go. Put that up there. Love the needle threader. The needle threader, now that gave me a nice big loop that time. It does help to not hold it too tightly in your fingers when you're holding it upwards. If you hold it loosely but enough so it makes a straight line, you're going to get a nice loop there. So you got a thread cutter right here. I'm going to just cut that off to make those nice and short. Okay, next we're going to do our lower looper. All of these, your needle and your lower looper have got to be in play in order for this to work. Now this has sort of a spring in it, so hang on to it up at the top and hook that right in there. Now move your hand wheel so that these three little guys are right in line, and if you need to turn it back a little bit, you can do that. And it helps to make sure that this is nice and sharp and pointy, that you don't have any little fuzzies at the end. Just poke that right through there, like that. Alrighty. I gotta lift this presser foot up. That does help. There's a little bit more. I'm just gonna, as it goes through there, it makes a little noise. Okay, next there is a hook right back here. Now this is the looper mechanism right here. So there's three different places to put it in. So we're gonna start out by putting that hook from the back, like that. Then pull out this knob and look what happens. It makes it so you can reach the rest of that really easily. So I'm going to thread this guy right in here. Okay, I'm not sitting right in front of the machine, and that kind of makes a difference like that. Then, get my tweezers ready. Poke it right through the end of the looper. And then it should go right in there. And see how it goes right into that channel. That's what you want it to be. Then we push this guy back. And I'm going to cut this to be about 3 or 4 inches long and just let it hang down inside. You don't need to pull it up because it will incorporate as you're getting started. Okay, so that is how you thread it for 3 needles and your looper. Now if you want to do that top cover, kind of looks like this, you need to have another spool right up here. So I'm going to put this on here and show you how to thread that. By the way, for threading your loopers, your top one and the bottom one, you have diagrams down here. That's really helpful. In fact, for the needles, you also have a diagram. But for this here, it really helps to know what pathway to use. So we start here, and this I have noticed is sort of an over-under pathway. So we're going under here, we're going over here, under here, over here, under here, over here. And then we're going to lower the top cover mechanism. I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to show you from the back here so you can see. That's how you put it in. There's a little button on the back here, right behind the handle. If you push that button, it comes back up. Really easy. It's no separate parts. It's just up there when you don't need it. Bring it down when you do need it. Okay, here we go. That's over, and we go under here, over here, and under the foot. That's how it shows you how to do it. As you're sewing, now I'm not going to show you in this video, in a future video I'll show you, but as you're sewing, this little hook releases the thread and it comes back over and catches the thread. That's this little hook. That's normal. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, So that is threading your CoverPro 3000. I hope this has been a helpful video. If it has, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. We have lots of other videos here on our Montavilla YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.